Hey everyone, it's Ellison. I'm back. Um, I want to share my experience, and hopefully this helps somebody out there. If you happen to click on this video, this recording, then more than likely you were led to watch this video, because my videos aren't for everyone, and I think we are all getting to a point, those who do videos live on YouTube, we are all getting to a point to where we're saying to those this video resonates with, because we're all now going into our little groups, our little starseed groups, y'all. We are, and each wave or each group, they resonate with certain people, and they have a certain message for certain people. It's not for everyone, and this is even spoke of in the Bible, especially about don't quote me don't quote me, but how the what is the shepherd and the sheep example. I know my Bible, I just don't know verses verbatim, but and only reason why I'm going into a little short story time here is because of how I was taught the Bible. I went to a Catholic school for the longest, and they told story time, so they didn't read from the Bible like in class, religion class. They didn't read from the Bible. They had quotes, maybe, but they told stories of religion. So the story goes, the shepherd knowing his sheep and the sheep following the shepherd. Okay. So with certain people who I believe, certain groups of a certain wave, and I feel like the first wavers are really stepping up for that particular group. Now, I know myself to be a top waver, or not a top waver, but the first waver. We're not, first waver. Okay, I'm going in for y'all. I'm fighting these battles to come back to shed light on certain situations. Because more than likely, if you haven't, you're going through a certain situation, and it may be very similar to what everyone is going through in that wave, or in that group, in that I wouldn't say wave, but that soul group. The first waver, or the way shower, is the one who actually goes in and gets an understanding of the situation, and comes back to bring perspective. If you are going through this situation, then this is the reason why, and this is how you overcome it. That is how the first waver works. We go through hell to bring enlightenment to the people, to show you a piece of heaven. If you just only change your perspective of how this situation is playing out in your life. A lot of people like to look at situations that happen in their life as a negative thing, or why me type of situation. Like, how am I ever gonna get through this? And even as a way shower may be going through that. We all in this together, for real. But a way shower may go through that situation and get the enlightenment from it. Like, this is the reason why this is happening. Oh my God, change my perspective. And it's in the changing of your perspectives, your perception on how you view a situation. This is what I lost my thought. I really didn't. I did. Like, I'm like so forward thinking that I'm actually losing my thoughts now. Because I'm like already in my head on something completely different. But what was I saying? Okay, so it's the way shower that comes in and brings light back to the situation. So like I said, we're all going through this together. So if you have been experiencing some turbulence in your life when it comes to very difficult situations, dealing with grief, dealing with issues of the heart chakra, like things that really matter to your heart, you know, your dearest dreams coming to pass and it's just not working. You know, a lot of people, it may be through a relationship, it may be how you want to live your life, and things are just not clicking into place, and you already know in your heart that it's going to happen, but it's not happening. What this means is it's a lesson in it all. And I've actually had the opportunity to share this with a few people, you know, seeing the lesson in things. Yes, you have a lesson. You know, it's not about the other person if another person is involved. It's about your lesson in a situation. Because you're always learning. Don't think that you got to a certain place and you stop there. Keep going. It's a lesson. If it's not a lesson, it's a blessing. It's not a curse. And a lot of times we repeat situations because we haven't gotten a lesson in it. So now it's time to start seeing the lesson. And I've said this in previous videos, you know, about seeing the lesson in the situation. Now it's really time to start seeing the lesson in the situation and what this situation is trying to show you. Because obviously you have a picture in your mind. That picture is very valid, but it's a different way of going about it. Not the way that you have in your mind, not your expectations, not, you know, just keep the big picture. Focus on the big picture and allow the universe to work out the details. Allow spirit to present things to you. Don't always go out scratching and fighting for what you want, because it's not needed. And this is for my soul group, because everyone has a path of their own. You know, everyone has their own path, and that's something else. That's something else to remember. Everyone, you cannot control someone. Everyone has their own path. And if the bigger picture, if what you already seen is that this is the outcome, and this person is not aligning to how you perceive the outcome to be, then it's time for you to step back from that situation. It's time for you to, and this is if someone is involved, it's time for you to step back from that situation mentally, emotionally, and figure it out. Or don't even figure it out. Figure out within yourself what your values are, because obviously the value system here is not matching. What are your values? If you go by what you value, you're living the best life you can live. You can't live the best life you can live if you're living by someone else's values, because then it won't resonate to you. It won't feel good trying to get to that bigger picture. This is for my soul group. About your values. And if you already have your values in place, then you are not a part of my soul group. And I'm just playing. No, I mean, it's like for everyone, it's something different. So I would advise those who are trying to reach their highest potential at this particular time to study your North Node and your South Node. And a brief understanding of what your North Node and South Node is, if you have not heard of this, when it comes to natal charts, this is something that is very valuable to look into. And you can Google North Node calculator and put your date of birth, and it will tell you what your North and South nodes are, or some just North. So what the North and South node is, from my understanding, which I just recently learned, is your subconscious patterning. And this North and South node is represented by your is represented by the moon, I believe. And it's not, or no, oh, it's a lizard on the wall. Okay, star group. Look at Google also, lizard animal totem. It's a message there for us. But let's just take it in relation to the moon. It is the north and the south sides of the moon. The north is the upper half of the moon, and the south is the lower half of the moon. So the moon somewhat forms a shadow aspect of itself in the north and the south node, because we know that the south is away from illumination. It's more so darkness. It's darker, you know, when in relation to the sun, I'm assuming. This is just me pulling information from the universe now. Okay, but anyway, so the south represents what you're coming out of, excuse me. And the north is where you're going. So that south node represents sometimes your past life, your karma. Well, it's not even sometimes, it's your past life, your karma, the things that you repeat up until the point that you get to your realization, your self-realization, and go to your north, which is your potential, what you are destined to be. And sometimes this only kicks in, I'm not going to say sometimes, this kicks in midlife. But it's still important to research these things, because I'm not for certain if, because of the way that things are evolving, this might kick in for my star group to realize your full potential. Those who are connected, you might be receiving lessons for you to evolve from that way of being, your karma. So what this is really saying is that a lot of people have paid their karma with certain situations and past lives. And me in particular, my north node is in Taurus, south node is in Scorpio. Scorpio, which is the energy that I'm leaving, is about manipulation and control, power, deep subconscious, subconscious thoughts, the subconscious mind, sexual energy. These are some of the things that Scorpio are known for. So this is the energy that I'm leaving in. For my research, it said that I had a past life of manipulation and control, or being a consort to someone in high ranking or being high ranking, like a king or being the king's advisor, being someone next to someone important, and being taken care of because of that relationship. I exchanged my spiritual, and more than likely it was spiritual services. I provide my spiritual services for the good life. And I see exactly how I'm playing out in that energy, or I was playing out in that energy these past few years. Because a lot of my relationships, and I mean relationships to others, I was that voice that they would call, and they were people who are destined to be bigger than life. Y'all welcome. I said it, y'all welcome. To those who were awakening, providing spiritual services. And I've noticed the past few months, it's been a few months, I just cut off all relationships with people, not knowing why, but trusting that what my inner knowing was telling me was to let go of certain relationships. Me sometimes trying to figure it out, why I gotta let this person go. Oh, they got something against me. What's going on? Like, okay, I'm gonna let them go, but what they got going on? Not really just trusting, and that's another thing that Scorpion, or the South Node in Scorpio, does. Try to figure out things. Try to figure things out, instead of just that innate trusting, going way too deep into the spiritual. So, I had to let a lot of things and a lot of people go. And now I'm coming to the realization that, and now my South Node is kicking in finally, that, I have to build for myself. There's no room now where I'm going for me to build for someone else or to be a consort to anyone. I have to stand firmly with this Taurus energy, building actually in the physical and not just spiritually, not going so deep spiritually, but now integrating it into something physical. Really getting in touch with what I value. So when I said really know your values, this could be for everyone, but this could be just for my node, my potential. So find out what your potential is. Find out what your North and South nodes are. So things are shifting for me. Things are changing. I'm no longer wanting to do the same things that I used to do in the past. I'm ready to let all of that old energy go. And that's my advice as well, is just let go of, let it all go until you really know exactly what it is that you want and deserve in life. Even study your nodes to see where you're going, because universe has probably been giving you signs already. Universe has been giving you signs already, and some people may have noticed them, some may have not. You may have seen certain traits in certain people that you just probably didn't understand, or that you somewhat may have envied, or I wouldn't say envy, but even admired something that you felt that may have been out of your reach. That's the word that I'm going to use. Something that's out of your reach. This was the universe showing you that this is where you're going. Everything that you've been seeing has only been a reflection of what's already within you, the good and the bad. So learn from the bad so you can move towards your good. If you're tired of feeling a certain type of way, you have the power to change it. What is it that you really want to do then? Do it. Encourage yourself. Know that that's your potential. That's what you could be. Like something that I've done and everything, every time that I say what I say, I always say for my highest good and for those concerned. And I mean that. Anything that you say repetitively is an affirmation, and those affirmations are prayers, and they're being sent out as a signal to the universe. So be careful what you speak over yourself, especially when you know who you are. Your vibration becomes so strong that just one thought changes your reality. Just one thought, because your vibration is so strong. We send out vibrations every single moment, every single breath, every heartbeat. We're sending out a vibration. So believe what you say, because you're sending it out. And we have certain things in place to help us with staying on track. You got to do the work sometimes, the inner work, whatever that inner work is for you, and trust your heart. If you're led to something, follow your heart. A lot of people like to seek advice outside of themselves when yourself is what knows best. Like myself told me to start going to counseling to overcome a mindset that I felt very stuck in, because I knew my time was coming to shift. And so myself said, okay, let's do counseling. Let's get to this subconscious mind. And so what my counselor told me was everything that I already knew. I just needed to hear myself talk. And that was the part of my reflection that was giving me clues like, you already know, you got to do it. One thing I will share with you in my particular case is to start living in the light. Let's not go to the past. I think that might touch a few people. A lot of people live their lives in the past, remembering things that may have hurt them, things that may have even been traumatic, But what can you do? Absolutely nothing. The past is over. What can you do now? Move forward and not look back. Prime example, Lot's wife in the burning of Sodom and Gomorrah. Here's story time. I'm not about to rehearse any verses because I don't know no verses to that, but the story goes, Sodom and Gomorrah was gonna be burnt down because of all the sins that had filled the city, all the different sins. We're not going there, but angels came to Lot and his family and said, hey, y'all better get out because God about to burn this down. And so they took heed and they said, whatever you do, don't look back. And give a reason why. They said, don't look back. So, you know, he told his family this. They all heard it, I guess. I don't know. Or he went back and told his family. I don't know how that goes. But now comes time for the city to burn down. And they are fleeing. And, you know, the thing was to not look back. And Lot's wife did. And guess what happened? She turned into a pillar of salt. So, what I get from that is when you look back to the past, you're going to be really salty. Because a lot of things didn't happen the way that you may have expected. Those traumatic events, you know, was like, whoa, why did that happen to me? But the spirit of the Most High says not to look back, especially during these times. I honestly feel like there has been a separation. You know, you have been warned, and this is not to be scary. You have been advised. You've been warned. It's not meant to be scary because you have something to look forward to. If you can only stay focused, on what's to come, it'll be all yours. Don't look back, because the moment you look back, it's a wrap. So I'm like, I just like put fear in my heart. No, I didn't. But I'm moving forward. And I feel like a lot of us may not know how to overcome a situation. If you need help, I'll try to help. Contact me. Whatever your situation may be. Sometimes you just need to talk to somebody like I did. You know, and sometimes you need to hear yourself. And I know, like, when I do help people, a lot of times one-on-one, I ask a lot of questions because, you know, I feel like if I ask certain question, then you can like answer that question, look within yourself and answer. So why do you feel this way? You know, they may share, and if I see something, you know, I hear one way, you know, from them, you know, I'm gonna grab the higher perspective to why that's happening. No, you know, you see it this way, but really it's really this way. You know, sometimes people, you have to be willing to receive if you want to move on out of that, you know, that energy. You can't keep repeating these patterns over and over and over again, because over and over and over again it's going to get harder and harder. So until, you know, your heart can't take it. So I've been led to just focus on me, focus on my happiness, focus on where I'm going, focus on being able to build, as I'm a builder, being able to build that vision through my power. And build in a physical sense when it comes to the 5 senses. So I'm gonna build towards enjoyment of what I value. And I had to ask myself, what is it that I value? And I had to be honest. One thing that I value is comfort. You know, I can't be fake about it. I've always, in this lifetime, wanted to experience a life of luxury, because I guess I'm moving into that Taurus energy, and that's who I am. So luxury, I want that. I, you know, grew up having that, and that's something that I value. You know, so know where your values are. I have like I have royal values, y'all. Royal values. Yes, I do. I do. I if it's from my past life, so be it. But other things I value is being very independent. I value that. Like, no, I don't need you for anything. I don't need your help. I got it. That was my thing. Even when I was younger. I don't need your help. No, let me do it. So that's what I value. I value getting things started and going and doing it myself and being independent. So yeah, I know those two things most certainly. Oh, and I value friendship. I'm a very loyal person, and I realize that I cannot allow anything to not make me a loyal person, whether it's another person or any bumps to the mission, any bumps to the bigger picture. I can't allow anything to not make me loyal to what it is that I value. And one thing I realized with that, I can't change myself, who I am at the core, which you can find out about yourself. See what resonates. And natal chart understanding is very important because a lot of things resonate and you might not know exactly what that is that you feel because you don't know yourself. But sometimes reading into your chart, especially if you're that type of learner, reading into your chart to pinpoint certain things about you can identify with, and maybe with that identification you can tweak your life to those things, especially those good things, to make you a better person. There's always ways to transcend your natal chart, transcend certain aspects that you may not be in agreement with, even though it is you. I know I'm making sense. I was gonna say, I hope I'm making sense. No, I know I'm making sense. And if you don't get it, it's because you're thinking too hard. You're thinking too hard, too hard, too deep into it. And a lot of people do that, and that's okay. It's not that deep. Whatever your inner being says, it is what it is. You gotta trust yourself. Okay, so just wanted to share that information about especially letting go and moving forward now without looking back and staying focused towards your north node, towards illumination. You all can do it. There you go. You all can do it. We're almost there. We are here. Now it's time to see the workings of things. Now it's time for things to actually manifest. If you've been putting out those good intentions, those good vibes, now it's time to receive the manifestation of those. The true manifestation of those. It's like manifested. So stay encouraged. Work out those lessons so you can break free. Okay, until next time.